Yo, chat, it is Dan VR. Of course, we are getting into the Vow of Iron, and I'm beginning to thaw. I'm beginning to break free of my chains on the testing silence. But what I wanted to talk about today were some of the newer items in the Vow of Iron, specifically some of the talents centered around healing. So the two equipment talents that I have right now are coming from the Blood Curdle Cowl and the Blood Curdle Mask. So these work together as sort of a set bonus. I don't have the complete set, but even by themselves, they're incredibly powerful. The first one that we're going to be looking at, of course, the Blood Curdle Cowl, which was going to give you Bloodless Overdrive, gain bonus temp health every time you land a mantra with a Bloodless gem. So we'll run over really quickly. I'll just like throw out a Fire Palm at the jellyfish here to show you that you actually get a good amount of temp health. Fire Palm. So you get a good bit of healing, of course, from the gem itself, but then you also get that temp health on top of it. Maybe if I group these together real quick. Look at that. It's not a lot, but it's enough to give you a little bit of extra survivability. But the real talent comes from the mask. So for Blood Plague, every light attack that you land adds one Blood Plague stack on your opponent. Landing a critical attack converts all of the Blood Plague stacks into temporary health. But, of course, if you miss an attack, it resets and you lose all your stacks. Using that item, you're able to regain almost the entirety of your health bar. Plus, you'll get about 1.5 bars to 2 bars of temp health, which is insanely powerful, not just for farming, but for actually doing the bosses. Let me jump into the combat really quickly and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Alright. So I figured that the best way to kind of show off what I'm talking about with this equipment is to go and do a boss. I think a lot of people are still stuck on Shogun, not because they're necessarily bad. Well, some of you are. Some of y'all genuinely, you got to get back in the lab. But I think most people are stuck on Shogun or Rat King or one of the earlier progression bosses. Not because they're bad, it's just because they don't have the time to brute force it. A lot of the content creators like Supa, yeah, they're going to get through the bosses and they're going to be able to fight Regent at like power 10. But they also are playing for hours and hours every day, just brute forcing it until they finally get it down to muscle memory. And a lot of players, you know, they're getting on after work, they're getting on after school. They just don't have the time to do that. So hopefully I'm able to show you guys just how powerful a lot of this equipment is. And I mean, as you can see, aside from the equipment, I've got nothing special here. I'm a power 5. I've got all of the talents that you can get, right? I'm soft locked. The next thing I have to do is fight Shogun. So I'm going into this with the same exact build that you guys are. And hopefully, following this video, I'll have the same equipment as you. You're going to have to go ahead and farm for it. But we'll jump into Shogun real quick. I haven't fought Shogun in a while. I might be a little rusty. I haven't fought Shogun, man, probably since testing. Or, like, not for real. I fought it maybe once or twice on stream, but I was low-key trolling, because I didn't want to show people, like, I didn't want to, like, perfect it or fight it as people were still figuring out the mode. I think that would have been kind of lame. If I show up, like, perfect it, unlock Drifter, that would have just been, like, Tester, what the fuck? He knew how to do it! I mean, shit, that's what I would have said before I became a tester. I would have been mad as fuck if someone like Agamatsu did that. If they, like, randomly showed up, new update, unlocked, like, some secret rare shit. Oh! Okay, let me lock in, actually. Let me lock in. I don't know. I started yapping, bro. I started yapping. I started staying straight bullshit. Okay, 63% HP. That can actually... Let me hit a Fire Palm. Fire Blade. Look at that healing, bro. That came from the, that's the bonus, I think, on the mask. Because you stack up hits, and then when you crit, you actually get a, you get, like, all back at once. Notice I said crit. I think it's a little bug that just does any, like, attack. There it is again. Oh, my, like, see, bro? Any other build, you already been dead. But because of the equipment, right, I get a little extra leeway. It makes it a little easier for a player like me who's... You know, I'm washed up, bro. Unk is washed up. My eyes are old. They're not what they used to be. The reaction time, bro, in my old age, it's not good. Boom, bro. You pretty much have an extra flask every time you hit Fire Palm. crit. Get some temp health. Yep, and because of the temp health, we were able to survive the ultimate. So we'll run away for a quick second. Etra's Flask. Alright, we're ready to go back in. Burning Servant. Just gets some easy healing. Fire Palm. Boom, boom, Burning Servant, a little more healing. Fire Palm. Fire Blade. And then he died to burn. But yeah, look at, there was like probably 5 or 6 times where I should have died to Shogun, but because I had the items that I went farming for, it helped me get through it. And it'll do the same for you guys. It'll help you learn the bosses, it'll help you learn the mode. And also, it's just fun to have, especially if you're like, you're just far, because with this stuff, you're able to actually farm the depths, right? I think the hardest part about being in the depths is like managing your HP because you run out so quickly without health packs. But with this, you're constantly healing. You constantly have temp health. It's essentially like Diet Berserker. Get in the game, try it out. It's a ton of fun, and it'll really, really help you as you learn the Vow of Iron.